In the pantheon of 1980s teen comedies, One Crazy Summer often gets overshadowed by its more famous peers. But Savage Steve Holland's follow-up to Better Off Dead is a deliriously inventive anarchic comedy that deserves a second look. Released in 1986, the film follows aspiring cartoonist Hoops McCann and his quirky friends as they spend a summer on Nantucket, entering a sailboat race and saving a local music venue from a snobbish yachting family. What sets this film apart is its unique visual language, blending live action with Looney Tunes-style animation and surreal sight gags that push the boundaries of reality. It's a film that revels in its own absurdity, from a Rastafarian named Stork to a competitive kayaker who communicates only through shouts. Yet beneath the chaos lies a sincere ode to following your dreams and standing up for the underdog. The film's protagonist, Oops, is an aspiring cartoonist whose drawings literally come to life on screen. This metatextual device allows Holland to externalize Hoop's internal conflicts, transforming his anxieties into cartoonish disasters. For instance, when Hoops feels inadequate, a giant pencil writes on the screen. When he's nervous, his daydreams spiral into a Bugs Bunny-esque chase. This technique isn't just a gimmick, it's a profound commentary on how creative people process reality. The animation sequences, executed by veteran Warner Bros. Animator Lloyd Vaughn, are seamlessly integrated, creating a world where the subjective and objective blur. This approach was groundbreaking for a live-action teen comedy, and remains a hallmark of Holland's idiosyncratic style. By literally drawing his thoughts, Hoop shows us that imagination isn't escapism, it's a tool for understanding life. One Crazy Summer excels in its ensemble of eccentrics, each profoundly weird yet oddly relatable. Take Ak, a manic depressive who cycles between euphoria and despair with comedic precision. Or Clay, a bedwetting inventor whose gizmos malfunction spectacularly. These characters aren't just jokes, they personify the film's theme of outsider solidarity. The villains. Ak's snooty jock rival, a wealthy yachtsman, are archetypes of conformity. The film's climax, a chaotic sailboat race, becomes a metaphor for rebellion against privilege. Unlike John Hughes's affluent suburbs, One Crazy Summer celebrates scrappy underdogs who win through creativity and teamwork. It's a populist statement. Success belongs to those who refuse to take life seriously. This message, wrapped in slapstick, is surprisingly radical for its era. The film's visual gags are a masterclass in physical comedy, often paying homage to silent film legends like Buster Keaton. A scene where Hoops tries to impress a girl by catching her in a net goes horribly wrong, echoing Keaton's precise timing. Another sequence features a runaway ladder that creates a domino effect of chaos, reminiscent of classic Chuck Jones cartoons. Holland's direction favors long, unbroken takes that let the absurdity breathe, trusting the audience to appreciate the build-up. This restraint is rare in modern comedies, which often cut rapidly for laughs. The film's sound design also shines. Sound effects are exaggerated like a cartoon, with boinks, splats, and whistles underscoring the action. These choices root the film in a tradition of visual comedy that predates cinema, making it a love letter to the art of the gag. Demetra is more than a love interest. She's the emotional anchor of the story. A singer with a passion for music, she represents the artistic soul that Hoops and his friends fight to preserve. Her subplot involves saving a decrepit nightclub from being demolished by the wealthy Mathersons. This narrative thread gives the film its stakes, not just a sailboat race, but a battle for creative expression. Demetra's performance of a new wave ballad at the climax is genuinely moving, grounding the madness in real emotion. Moore brings a warmth and grit to the role, making her a worthy counterpart to Cusack's goofy energy. Their romance is understated, built on shared passion rather than cliched meet-cutes. In a genre often criticized for shallow characters, One Crazy Summer invests in its heroine's dreams. The film's structure is deceptively loose, almost meandering, as if it's a series of sketches. But this ramshackle quality is intentional. Holland employs a rambling narrative to mimic the aimless, exhilarating freedom of a teenage summer, the episodic adventures, a disastrous boat christening, a midnight intruder, a flea-ridden dog, accumulate like memories. This picaresque style allows for tonal shifts from slapstick to earnestness without whiplash. The film's climax, where the underdog crew uses a makeshift sail and a rocket to win the race, is pure cartoon logic. Yet it feels earned, because the film has established a world where imagination trumps reality. The message is clear. Life is a weird, wonderful mess, and you're better off embracing its chaos than trying to control it. It's a philosophy that resonates as much today as it did in 1986. The soundtrack of One Crazy Summer is a time capsule of 80s alternative and new wave. Songs by The Cure, Kate Bush, and the B-52s punctuate key scenes, their eclectic energy matching the film's tone. The use of Man on the Moon during the sailboat race evokes a sense of wonder, elevating a silly vehicle into something mythic. Music isn't just background here, it's a character. Demetra's diegetic performance, Wrong World, underscores the film's critique of a society that crushes creativity. The soundtrack also bridges the gap between the film's cartoonish visuals and its earnest themes. When wild wildlife plays during a chaotic chase, it reminds us that joy can be found in anarchy. This careful curation demonstrates Holland's understanding of how music can amplify emotion and thematic resonance. Critical reception in 1986 was mixed. Many dismissed One Crazy Summer as a pale imitation of Better Off Dead. But time has been kind. Its cult status has grown thanks to home video and word of mouth. Modern audiences appreciate its unique blend of surrealism and sincerity. The film's influence can be seen in later works like Napoleon Dynamite and Scott Pilgrim vs. The World, which also mix mundane settings with flights of fancy. Holland's willingness to let his characters be unabashedly weird paved the way for a generation of offbeat comedies. Moreover, the film's anti-establishment streak, embodied by its ragtag heroes, feels increasingly relevant in an era of widening inequality. One Crazy Summer is a reminder that art doesn't need to be polished to be powerful. It just needs heart. Analyzing One Crazy Summer through a contemporary lens reveals its surprising depth. The film critiques classism by positioning the wealthy Mathersons as villains who want to gentrify a beloved local spot. The sailboat race becomes a metaphor for capitalism. The rich have expensive yachts while the heroes build a boat from scrap. Yet the film never preaches. Its comedy is too generous. It also tackles grief subtly. Oops is haunted by his father's death, which he processes through art. This emotional subplot adds layers to his comic antics. Even the character's quirks, like an obsessive-compulsive friend, are treated with affection, not ridicule. For a film that features a dog catching a frisbee through a window, it has surprising emotional intelligence. It's a film that uses its zaniness to sneak in real feelings. Ultimately, One Crazy Summer is a celebration of creative misfits. Its legacy endures because it validates the unconventional, The dreamers, the weirdos, the ones who laugh at themselves. For every aspiring artist or outsider, this film is a banner. It tells us that our strangest ideas might be our best, that winning isn't about having the biggest boat, but the wildest imagination. Savage Steve Holland crafted a film that feels like a cartoon brought to life, a memory of a summer that never was. Yet within its Looney Tunes logic lies a universal truth: life is crazy, so you might as well enjoy the ride. That's why, more than 30 years later, we return to Nantucket with Hoops and his friends. Because sometimes the most absurd movies are the ones that capture what it means to be human.